What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I am back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the left side of the map in the red color, playing as Poseidon. His name is Matrius. His opponent today in the blue color, playing as his tried and true Odin. His name is the Rapl. We have the Matrius, we have the Rapl. It kind of works. They kind of have the same vibe to their names. Very, very Greek-ish, if you will. I guess Matrius is probably more Italian-ish, but I don't know how it works. Whatever. We've got both these guys playing their main gods, duking it out at the highest level. It's been a hot minute since we've seen Rapl versus Matrius with the Odin versus Poseidon. There's been a lot of meta development, as you will, in this matchup. A lot of stuff has been happening. It's played very differently every single game from what I see. Everyone's still trying to work out the best way to get an advantage over their opponent to get some wins, because all in all, the matchup can seem very difficult and very easy in different situations, and you just have to learn how to overcome those situations as best as you can. So we do have Matrius over here. He's found himself his first 3 hippos, not casting the lure early in this game. This is very, very interesting, because what it means is that he's going to be able to have the full 900,000 food, however much you get from the lure, in his base for the classical age, which means that he can then choose to get super hyper aggressive, pull back, and have no problems. No problems at all. So what I mean by that is, like, if he wants to go for some sort of aggressive play where he gets a little bit of damage done early, normally what happens in those situations is till about 7 minutes, the Poseidon has the advantage in the matchup. After that, the Odin player generally starts to take over. So what you can do is, for the first 7 minutes of the game, you could be moving forward, eating these hippopotamus, and then moving yourself back home and eating the lured animals completely safely, get watchtowers, be completely safe in your base, and then head to the Mythic Age, do whatever you want with that, where that's concerned. Now, if we continue over here and we take a look at the map, we do have the town center over here for Matrius, a second town center on this map. Probably wouldn't be that much of a nightmare. He's got a beautiful large gold mine here. He's got the town center here. He's got the zebra relatively close by. He's got a nice choke point here that he can wall off, though Forest Fire is very strong here and is going to be very strong in this matchup because the wood is very bad for Matrius. So we'll see how he's going to manage to overcome that and what his choices are going to be. Now, Rapl, on the other hand, he's got a forward gold mine. So forward gold mine for Rapl here is very scary on a map like this specific watering hole, especially the way the Matrius is playing, because Ares Rush is a real thing. It's very difficult to be defended against if you have an exposed gold mine and your food situation is forward as well. Now, we do have the hippos here that are forward, but we do also have the beautiful zebra over here for Rapl, who incidentally has possibly the nicest town center you will ever see, though he doesn't have a back gold mine on this town center like Matrius does. He does have the beautiful zebra here, which is generally going to give him enough of a boost to allow him to get security of any sort of second gold mine. But given this gold mine so exposed, probably be a bit of a risk for Rapl to get that second that second town center early here. He's going to have to react and play around what Matrius is wanting to do here. Now, Matrius going through Hermes, he's got himself already, looked like 7 villages on wood for a hot minute there, but has decided to change that up, and he's going to be moving up on onto different gold situations here, chucking up his walls, being very safe. 3 villages on gold. It's seemingly a relatively fast advance time. He does have his Theseus out already. We do already have a cheeky wall up by Rapl to deny this. I do not like the early heroes out for Poseidon unless you have a very specific place that you know you want to send that, because otherwise you're just searching around and it gives your opponent enough time to defend whatever's going to be coming for you. And it also slows down your stable or your barracks or your archery range. Everything is slowed down, so you're just going to be behind just because you wanted out that early hero and got nothing from it. That's my opinion, but I still see Matrius doing this quite a bit regardless of what he sees. Now, I wouldn't be surprised here, given the wall situation. We see a stable coming up for Matrius. We see 2 stables coming up. Okay, I would be surprised now to see Matrius going for a town center, but We'll see what he's going to choose. He's getting his Hippolyta out. Both stables out very, very soon. And he's short on the wood. He's leaving villagers on wood. And we do see a lure getting thrown down at the 5-minute mark. As you can see, there is plenty of hunt around the map that lure can be grabbing. So I love the delayed lure. I think it's incredibly good. Doesn't lose any of his immediate hunt to anything. And he can just live the dream. And we are starting to see those wood villagers getting taken off of wood, putting over onto gold. I like that he's moved his second wood line over here because he's trying to bait. I reckon he's trying to bait a forest fire out on this forward wood line here because it opens up the entire base. But this wood line's really important to keep alive, especially with a wall over here, in order to make this food nice and accessible. So if we move over onto Rapl's perspective here, we do have the triple longhouse up, making those raiding cavalry out of here. Houses coming up as well for Rapl. No surprises here. He did go for an early medium raiders, which is a little bit surprising. Generally speaking, waiting on the medium raiders is what you want to do when you are going 3 longhouses. If you go 2 longhouses, you can get the medium raiders first, and then you've kind of it's more like playing around, having earlier uptime, not having that housing population for the medium raiders. It kind of all works out in a weird way. And we do see Hippopotamus here getting sniped down there by Rapl as he's going to be retreating back. The medium Hippocon of Matrius are out as well, so both players rushing in on those upgrades, not getting more units instead. Interesting to see, but it's going to kind of work out. Losing units is bad. I guess with Odin, you have a much better reason to get medium upgrades than everyone else because you get that innate healing, the unique ability for all of your units to get healed over time. So keeping them alive by having just a little bit more HP can be a very, very big deal. As we do see the raiders pushing through here. Matrius is going to come over with his centaur, push this one back. As the medium Hippocon are going to be circling around here, starting to thwack away at these raiding cavalry. Does get one of them. Rapl a little bit too slow, a little bit overzealous. I think if he wanted into Matrius's base, he would just cast Forest Fire. I do like to say Imagine Forest Fire, but in terms of if you feel like you need to get into your opponent's base, this would be the best way to do it. It would kill this wall, it would kill this wall, it would open it up, and entire base would feel much more open. And in the end, we are actually seeing Matrius grabbing himself a second town center. So a really weird delayed second town center from Matrius here. He's got himself a couple of units, and he's got this town center coming up. He's still got enough resources in the bank to even go 3 town centers here. Obviously, he's not going to do that, but I feel like he should be thinking about taking these villagers off wood at this point because he's not really spending those resources on anything here. Though he might, I don't know what he's saving them for. And in the end, we do actually see that forest fire coming down, hitting these units. The militia getting a little bit of damage done. And we are going to be seeing the gate getting torn down here as Rapl desperately wanting in to Matrius's base as he now sees the second town center going up. The villager coming over onto this storehouse. I would love to see this wall finished up here by Matrius now, as well as the walls have been broken down. Matrius with lots of resources in the bank, no longer making units. This could be an incredibly strong, semi-fast heroic off of 2 town centers here in a very weird way. Obviously, the better way would be to get the earlier town center first and then get the Hippocon out, but it's a little bit more telegraphed, whereas Matrius is playing it slowly and maybe not going to not start these Hippocon anymore. He could think about getting himself watchtowers, crenellations against these medium raiders, and there would be next to no way for the raiders to get in without transport ship shenanigans, as we are seeing the raiders still trying to poke their head in. Do we see watchtowers? No watchtowers, but we are in fact seeing the armory as Matrius is realizing prodromus are going to be absolutely huge here, and Rapl is still simply just spamming those raiders. No, he's cut the raiders. He's got himself an armory. He knows what he needs. He needs to get to the heroic age. He's going to try and get there as soon as he possibly can. We see nice save there on that villager, almost losing it, but just jumping into the tower. Nice play here. As Rapl retreating back, we see a forward temple coming up for Rapl. Is this going to be a rare Njord build to counter the fast or the delayed second town center of Matrius? It could be, and it is a rare Njord build here from Rapl. He gets the forward temple up. Is he going to delete this back temple? Who knows? He is going to be he has to be worried about a potential ceasefire from Matrius, who is now going through Aphrodite in the back town center. There's no way to deny that. Ceasefire is going to be enough. We do see a whole bunch of villagers onto this temple as well, as Matrius is kind of realizing he needs to get out those heroes and also maybe get out Nemean Lions, as Rapl is pushing in here. The Njord has popped. The raiding cavalry trying to come around the side. Matrius defending beautifully with his Hippocon. Still no watchtowers, still no crenellations, so a little bit too safe, a little bit too risky, I would say, here from Matrius thus far, as the Mountain Giant is coming in. The archery range going to be denied here as the Mountain Giant comes in and thwacks that archery range into the ground. The villagers pulling back into the town center. We do see the archery range now coming up for Matrius here, but again might get denied by another Mountain Giant who is wandering through here, trying to get over to this wood line, I would assume, to cast Walking Woods as soon as he possibly can, as Aphrodite does come in. Immediate curse coming down as double Mountain Giants have started to come through here. We see the Walking Woods onto this position as Matrius, he needs to think about casting the Ceasefire very, very soon, but he's feeling like he can defend just a little bit longer before clicking it. Definitely don't want to lose too many units here as he is continuing to take this fight. The Nemean Lion getting targeted down by some Hersa, getting away here as we are starting to see some Paspis coming out. The town center is getting torn down by Rapl incredibly fast here. Matrius is at 85 population. Rapl is at 100 population, and we do indeed see the town center coming down. Matrius still not casting Ceasefire. What is he thinking here? Thinking he can defend this one, as it is seemingly looking like there is enough units for Matrius to defend. Has the damage been done, though, by Rapl? Is it enough to give Rapl enough of an advantage here in this game, as the Atlanta is going to take down the Mountain Giant? That's 2 Mountain Giants going down at 250 resources each. That's 500 resources, plus the Walking Woods. That's got to at least come out to feeling like it's roughly 700 resources worth of damage done back to Rapl since losing the town center. As more units are coming out, we do see a kind of tech switch into those Ulfsark, but it's dangerous doing that because the Paspists are already coming out for Matrius, as he is very aware of the power of the Norse infantry and obviously the power of the Greek counter infantry in this matchup, as Rapl is spotting this military academy, wanting to take that one down as fast as he possibly can to deny those Paspists. The town center does come out straight away. Matrius will start his villages shortly, I am sure, and now Rapl needs to think about what the follow-up is right now. He's currently only got 4 villages on wood. He is going all in this game, it would seem. No attempt at thinking about getting a town center. I think the correct play here would go straight to the Mythic Age, hit a follow-up on either Balder or on Fimbulwinter. Probably going through Tyr would be a little bit safer because you don't have that many villages. And we do see a market. No, we don't see a market for Rapl just yet, as he is going to be pulling back. He's got the resources piling in. Villagers moving around the map now, jumping onto the hippopotamus. This strategy from Rapl makes a lot of sense. We'll see if Matrius is going to be able to deny this, or at least hit some return fire while Rapl is waiting on his follow-up timing, as the raiding cavalry are simply just going to be scooting around here, dodging the units, getting as much value for their time as possible, just distracting as much as they can. As we do see the market coming up here, we do have Rapalian units, and that is exactly what a Rapl unit is called. Rapalian units hanging around here. Oh, the villager gets taken out by the hyena. Very unlucky there. But yes, Rapl's market is up, and we do in fact see the early tier here coming through for Rapl. Big moment in this game is going to be, does Matrius click Ceasefire as soon as he sees tier and give himself an extra minute? Or does he allow it to come through and have to try and defend it without losing too much? So the correct play, if you can predict tier coming through, is to send your heroes back home in order to deal with those Fimbulwinter wolves. And then they don't do anything to you because they're going to attack your heroes. You garrison all your villages, you just town bell, you get your heroes onto the wolves, and then you can town bell back out once the wolves are attacking. And Fimbulwinter can go from one of those god powers, which seems incredibly strong, to one of those god powers not so strong. So the easiest way to go about that is to simply just ceasefire once you see tier, and then half the time you're going to get your opponent clicking tier into your ceasefire, and then you can spam 11, and that's this. It doesn't work because I don't have taunts enabled, but spam 11 and laugh at them, or you just simply bring your heroes back and live the dream. And now, Rapl is 75% of the way through to the Mythic Age here. Matrius, on the other hand, he's drawn up his own market. He's got a lot of gold in the bank, definitely thinking about getting to the Mythic Age himself here. I wouldn't be surprised to see Hephaestus in this situation, as we do see the market getting taken down. It's actually a smart move, considering the possibilities of a Balder coming through, killing off the market, stops any potential trade route. There's the tier. There's the immediate Fimbulwinter. I'm saying, if you see tier and your opponent's name is Rapl, click ceasefire half the time, and you might actually get that opportunity. But while this is going on, we do see the hero is back here, so you do have to click town bell. We see Hephaestus has been clicked. Over here, villagers getting taken down. The Atlanta is clearing these up beautifully here. This is very, very nicely played by Matrius. He's trying to micro it as best as he can, but he should just take these Fimbulwinter wolves out, as they're still doing a whole bunch of damage over here. Matrius retreating back, and now Rapl has to actually hit. The game is not over now. Rappel's hit his timing. He's done the economic damage, but he needs to follow this up and get control of the middle town centers, get his economy into gear. He's just done so much damage to Matrius' economy. Hephaestus is going to kick in here very, very shortly, which is going to be a big economic boost, plus those armory upgrades. And while Rappel's got map control, he needs to find somewhere to move from here, and he is getting the forward town center up. The problem with this, the big problem with this, is that Rapl didn't get a dock down on this location here, which means no free Yeoman Elva, which means even if Rapl can get access to all 4 town centers here, the amount of population you need to spend to take this town center down is very low. If you get this out, you get some of those siege ships onto it. It can be incredibly annoying, and we do see Rapl noticing this, getting his dock up straight away. A really nice way to play around this is to throw up a hill fort on this corner here, and then there's no real way for the ships to move past. You put it up here as well, right next to this, and then he's going to have to shoot from back here. You get your docks up as well. Really, really smart place to put a hill fort if you are playing around potential siege ships coming your way. Now, Matrius just about to hit Hephaestus. There it goes. We'll see that Plentyvault getting thrown down very, very shortly. There he goes. And there is the Colossus coming out as well as the Military Academy Archery Rangers getting thrown down even more so, as Matrius is realizing he is Greek. He has technically the stronger late game, but I would argue that if Norse is played well, it can be very difficult for the Greek player to really shut the Norse player out. The idea being transport ships over here, walling this off, getting side builds down, walling over here, just walls everywhere for the Norse in the late game is incredibly obnoxious for literally any civilization to deal with, though Poseidon does have the advantage of militia, so they can kind of keep up with it a little bit if they want to kill them off. But anyways, we've even got champion infantry through for Rapl. Matrius is still at medium infantry, and I would assume that he just came through with Forge of Olympus, so he's going to be getting himself full copper straight away. He needs to pull back, still needs to wait about 2 minutes for his Hephaestus to really start ticking, and that does basically mean that Rapl has got all the time in the world to get these 4 town centers up, but his armory upgrades will be severely lacking. The big bonus that he does have is he does have the tech advantage in line upgrades for a little bit, so like having 1 upgrade advantage in the line upgrades generally equals about 1 tier of armory upgrades. as we are seeing the fight ensuing very, very early here. It's probably too early for Matrius to be fighting. He still needs to get those upgrades. He does have that huge Polyphemus out to help him, as we do see the Mountain Giant sneaking through, going to be able to take this town center down. The villagers not even attempting to repair it. They're just going after the shanking here, as it does seem like we had some transport ship shenanigans coming through for Rapl. If Rapl had hit this gold mine, he sees the Raven here. He needs to be on this gold mine. He could be walling this side off here. He can be completely gold cutting Matrius right away, but he has not noticed it yet. He's sending the Ulfsark through. He's got a transport ship. He's even got a Yeoman Elver here to help out. And while this is going on, Matrius is realizing this is a very dangerous position to be in, throwing the fortress down. We see the Ulfsark making their way over here. We've got ourselves an Atlanta already over here, and they will spot the transport ship coming in. One single wall here straight away would be absolutely huge for Rapl, and he does throw it down, but only with one Ulfsark. He needs to get this down as soon as possible, and we do see a very, very direly needed ceasefire getting thrown in here. The walls are up. I'd love to see Rapl getting himself stonewall here and throwing everything in to this position, while maybe doing some cheeky Mountain Giant raids elsewhere. Town center coming back up for Matrius, as all chaos has begun in his base. Rapl, on the other hand, he's kind of just all over the map. If Matrius gets any moment to breathe, the amount of damage he's going to be able to do with raids is going to be huge. And we even see some cheeky chemo walls coming through. The Yeoman Elver is going to be absolutely clutch here. The fortress is only halfway completed, but just bring the rest of your units over here. There's no reason not to. You're absolutely winning at this point. But Rapl, he's not done that just yet. He's not getting his armory upgrades through. He's got a decent amount of resources in the bank. Hasn't started a trade route yet. So he's got a lot of economy he needs to get here, and we do in fact see the transport ship coming through for Matrius. He's got to be very careful, because this Yeoman Elver is going to be cleaning that up very, very fast. He does a lot of damage at 40 damage per second, but instead going to be going after those units. First and foremost, Fortress coming up. He is going after the temple in the main base here with the rest of his units. Nothing left here to really defend. I'd love to see at this point potentially buildings getting thrown down here for Rapl. He's got himself 25 villagers on wood, but the wood income is just not coming through. He does have himself Bowsaw, which gives him a big, big boost in the wood income, and it's finally starting to feel like it's making a difference, as we do see these walls get taken down. The Polyphemus, the Colossus, destroying the rest of that, and now Rapl being cleaned up here. No attempt at any other side builds over here, no barracks or anything, and everything is just coming through the main choke point of Matrius's base. The champion throwing axeman doing tons of damage here. We see hoplites coming through that are going to be getting completely clean incredibly fast. Whole bunch of throwing axemen getting this town center up for Rapl, as well as now Matrius's units are returning back over here. We do have nearly full iron here. Not having iron shields matters very little in this situation. Only really dealing with those tower fires shenanigans, as Norse only really does hack damage. And we are seeing Rapl retreating now, as Matrius seemingly has defended the initial push here, and we see another dot coming up. Rapl still has not really defended this position like I would, and we see the Argo! Ladies and gentlemen, Poseidon comes in clutch. You thought Yeoman Elvis had no counter. Well, guess what? The Argo comes in and says, your Yeoman Elvis matter not. Now, the Argo does cost 3 population, but is an incredibly strong tool, only available to Poseidon and very rarely seen, as we do see the Argo going to come in. Look at this damage here, and that dead Yeoman Elver. Very, very sad Yeoman Elver there for our Odin player. Rapl, nice play from Matrius, and exactly the right call there. It does cost 8 favor though for a hero. That's a lot, but he does pull that one out in order to stop those Yeoman Elvers. Normally the king of the sea getting dealt with so very easily. Nice play from Matrius. Now making the push out, going to be tearing down this hill fort, as now Rapl is feeling like he needs Jarls out to deal with these Nemean lions. A big problem with Rapl's god path here is no Skadi, meaning no access to Frost Giants, meaning no real defense against Colossus, no defense against Heliopolis, and the late game starts being very difficult for the Norse without that specific unit. So he's going to have to find a way around that, whether it be the Ulf Jarls, the Ring Giver Jarls is potentially an incredibly good way to transition into a unit composition to deal with that. But then once towers come out, it can be very difficult to make those Ulf Jarls, those champion Jarl, legendary Jarls with Ring Giver work. But for the moment, they're going to be doing absolute carnage to the Poseidon army as these side builds still continuing. We are seeing some raiding cavalry coming out here. The Yago going to be taking this one down. Do we see Matrius being cheeky, sneaky? Not just yet. I don't think he's gotten himself naval auxiliaries just yet. So we'll see when he gets that out, but he's going to definitely be thinking about getting himself some siege ships to deal with this. This Argo actually takes down the dock relatively quickly here. I'm not going to lie. He's already half HP'd that one there. As these throwing axemen defending as best as they can. The Polyphemus tears down the Longhouse. And if we look at the population, Matrius actually doesn't even have fortified town centers yet. He's getting it right now. Whereas Rapl, he's got himself fortified town centers. He's got himself tons of resources, but his military production is ridiculously low. This is a point that Norse players fall into so much. You just simply need to bring these units back, get a couple of units, get some more longhouses, get some hill forts just with one unit on it, and it's going to be really, really helpful in your life, as we do indeed see the Oxy Juggernaut out for Rapl now as well, as the Argo is going to be taking down these champion Ulfsucks, not allowing them to get these docks down. No hill fort over here. He's been an absolute nightmare for Rapl. He probably could have even dealt with the Argo as well with the hill fort by leaving the Yeoman Elva underneath that one. But did not do that, and now he's going to be under the pump. We are seeing the fight ensuing in the middle of the map, as Rapl does have the army advantage here quite nicely, though. Matrius is microing to the best of his ability there with that Hippocon, forcing those throwing axemen into a difficult position. We see double hill forts getting thrown down as the town center is indeed falling. We've got a random transport ship over here as well for Matrius. I would have put some docks over here to just be a little bit more safe in order to get those up in this situation, but Rapl just a little bit more panicky, trying to get them up as fast as possible, and it's not going to be happening. Town center goes down. Matrius now 2 town centers to 3 town centers, still advantage Rapl for population. And we'll see how he's going to go. There is this shore over here that can be used by Matrius to take this town center down as well, if he can get in there, which he definitely can with some cheeky transport ship shenanigans. And if we check out exactly what Rapl can see, he's got no line of sight of this at all. So cheeky transport ship shenanigans with villagers over here. Get the docks up, get some side builds in here. Will be absolutely devastating for Rapl. And Matrius has got tons of resources in the bank, as now Rapl retreating back. We even see the villagers sneaking in here to try and get this one up. The hill fort's going down. Rapl knows he basically needs to keep this town center from going up, as a whole bunch of villagers are streaming in onto this location. We see the Ulfsark villagers getting turned into Ulfsark now. Champion Ulfsark going to be doing absolute work. We still see very few armory upgrades for Rapl in this position right now, and they're going to be... he needs those army upgrades because he's just not trading well at this point, and it's giving Matrius all the resources to do everything that he needs to do to make progress in this game. We are seeing a nice side build here with some very strange farmers working for Rapl. I know he needs that food economy. He doesn't have the winter harvest upgrade, but that's a very, very risky place to be living here, as we do see the hoplites coming through, cleaning up those villages. The Heliopoli have almost been taken care of, but this final Heliopolis here is going to be attempting to finish off this hill fort. We've got some Yeoman Elvas coming through for Rapl, but just 2 of them. They're kind of useless at that amount, as you do see them returning back down to the 15 damage per second that they start with when you lose them, but more are coming in, as this town center is still not quite coming up for Matrius here, and we do see that initial side build shenanigans starting, though I feel like Matrius hasn't quite worked out how strong a dock here is going to be. We'll see if he's going to work it out in the near future or not, as the villagers are all getting finished over here as well. The raiding cavalry taking these guys out. The champion Huskarl coming in as well to be incredibly brutal. We see legendary or champion raiders coming in, so the legendary Jarl will be making an appearance potentially here, as more of these Fenris Wolves are attempting to come in and help out. I mean, again, at the low numbers, you probably need somewhere between 4 and 5 Fenris Wolves for them to be really, really strong. 20 damage per second, this feels like a good amount, but still, I think he does have 4 of them. If you get 5 or 6 to start raiding, it can be incredibly difficult to deal with. But Matrius is being pushed back. He's still sitting at the 140. He's not even at 140 or 140 pop. He is in an incredibly difficult position right now, as he's got 0 gold income, as my clicking abilities have left me here. He's got 0 gold income for whatever reason, as the villagers making their way back up. He's got 1,000 gold left over here. If Rapl can keep fighting on this position, prevent Matrius from mining this gold mine, he can definitely cause a kind of late game gold star victory. We see this time and time again, as this is how games generally end at this point in the game, is when somebody just does not get their 3rd, their 4th gold mine secured. But again, I remind you that Rapl has got villagers kind of positioned very precariously all over the map. He's got gold villagers here. He's got gold villagers here. He's got farmers here. He's got farmers here. Raids for Matrius, if he scouted at all in this game, could be absolutely devastating. But after all is said and done, Rapl deciding to retreat back. He's low on resources. Look at how many villages he's got. He's got over 90 villages here, I would say, on resources. Maybe not quite 90, like 85 villages, nearly 90 villages on resources. And his just resource count is so low. I'm not sure exactly why that is. Oh no, Rapl. Your ox cart, my friend. The game doesn't alert you to bad ox cart placement. Only Control G alerts you to bad ox cart placement. But this ox cart is going to save the game a little bit for Rapl, as now even more buildings are getting torn down. We see the champion raiders coming through. Very clutch here for Rapl, but still his upgrades are absolutely awful in this game. And this is simply a product of, it might even just be a product of the ox cart being in a bad position here. How many villages? It's only 12 villages, so it probably wouldn't be enough gold to really start getting those upgrades. But this is just a product of fighting consistently and not being able to get those upgrades out that he desperately needed. And now Matrius is going to be trying yet again to get this town center back up. And does he have the resources? No, he does not. He's just about out of gold in this gold mine. 345. We see more units coming in onto this gold mine over here. I would love to see Rapl starting to even mine these gold mines as well, just to take them away from his opponent as much as he can. But he's not doing that, and he is in full panic mode right now as well, as he's pulling back, and he's in a similar position as he was earlier, as his production buildings are falling so quickly. Yes, the hill fort trains at 9 seconds-ish per second here, or 9 seconds? He's trading 9 seconds for the units in his hill forts, but these longhouses, they're still at 18 seconds, 14, 15 seconds for the throwing action, 18 seconds, 19 seconds for the champion raiders. You got to get so many longhouses up. I'm talking 10, 15 longhouses up, because if you lose just 1 or 2 of them when you've got like the correct number, it's just lights out for your production. And Rapl comes back with a vengeance now, as his army has really started to cook here, but he still does not have those upgrades that he so desperately needs. And even with 20 population more, the Iron Champion units of Matrius are cleaning house here, especially with the help of the Heliopoli that are in the back here, as we see the Polyphemus and the Heliopoli finishing off that hill fort. Hill fort coming back up for Rapl. We see the units coming over here for Matrius as he sees some villagers to kill, and he's like, yes, sorry, Bob, I will kill those villagers. We just see a couple of units popping out here for Rapl to defend. I'm still surprised we didn't see any walls over here for Rapl. He's going full Norse Chad mode. No walls for days. As we see these military buildings over here, I'm still surprised Matrius didn't put 2 and 2 together. Generally speaking, these Voobly 5.0 maps are incredibly balanced in the fact that if one person has their town center in range of water, two people have their town center in range of water. That's kind of how the script works. And if no one has, if one player doesn't, then the other player won't. That's kind of how the script works. So if you're in this situation and you see one town center in range of water, you can pretty much guarantee the other one is in range of water. Now we do see the town center coming back up for Mattress as he's taking this this moment as an opportunity to push forward, but Rapl is pushing back Mattress. His army is not here. He's got him Mattress's full population here. We do see some raiders now coming through onto this gold mine. The Polyphum is helping out, taking out the raiders and everything else. The villagers are dying a slow death as even with champion upgrades, it just takes a hot minute for the raider to do anything. Anyways, the town center coming up here for Mattress, attempting to get denied as the mountain giant gets basically annihilated here by the Toxotes, the Hippolyta, and everything else. That's what happens when you get all your armor upgrades. The big difference between myth units and human units is that the myth units do not get armor upgrades. It'll be an interesting mod to see how the game would play if armor upgrades did affect myth units as well. But, I mean, you can't just make a one-size-fits-all chainmail, can ya? It just wouldn't really work. As the town center inevitably going to be coming up here, as there it goes, and now Matthews jumps up to that 3 town center situation, 140 or 160 population, great upgrades, economy is decent, his trade route is non-existent though, so there is still a win condition here, whether or not Rapl wants to believe it, and that win condition is controlling these areas over here. And that's all the gold left on the map, and then he can take the game if he can get that control well enough here, as this gold mine is just about to expire, but it is seemingly looking like Mattress is working at dealing with these longhouses, and Rapl has kind of got one idea, and one idea alone, and that is fight Mattress where his army is and try and take that town center down, which is obviously a way to win a game if you can, but we'll see if it's going to work or not here, as the army is pushing in, the hill fort going down ever so slowly. Another mountain giant, hill giant. Am I thinking about RuneScape? I think I am. Another mountain giant coming through for Rapl, as he is desperately trying to make these bad boys work. Now, they are incredibly good building destroyers in the early mid-game or even late mid-game. But like I said, as soon as those upgrades come in, this bad boy gets feels a lot of pain. But Rapl is still fighting nicely here. He's got 159, 160 population. He's starting to float resources. He's now got his upgrades, so he's actually trading well for a change. We see the villagers making their way over onto this gold mine, and now Rapl might have worked out how important this location is going to be. But all that being said, there is a world here where Rapl is going to have to deal with Gold Colossus, and he's just not going to be able to do that. They're going to be pushing through. These Gold Colossus do so much damage here, as the throwing axemen coming over here, trying to take down these counter infantry as best as they can. The hill fort is not going to be coming up here, and really the only answer to these Gold Colossus is those legendary Jarl, and there is still no ring giver for Rapl. I would have loved to have seen some sort of a tech switch into those ring giver Jarl at some point, but he just never had the production or the resources or whatever you want to call it to really get there. And obviously then Prodromus can just kind of shred them a little bit, so you do have to be constantly tech switching to deal with that. But then Prodromus are bad, so it's always good if your opponent's making Prodromus, because then you can make Ulfsark. Ulfsark are great. As you see this town center getting taken down incredibly fast. The mountain giant is actually low-key a smart way to deal with the gold colossus, because he's doing 25 crush damage, and the colossus got 80% crush armor, so that actually does a good amount of damage to the colossus, funnily enough. So this Rapl has got a big brain on his shoulders right here, as he's managed to hold there. We do see the raiders making their way through here, but Rapl is going to be devastated to find very few villagers here. If these were Ulfsarks in here and make a hill fort or two to start harassing, get those, get some bravery Huskull in there even, could be absolutely huge. But the town center lives. Mattrius feeling like victory is in his grasp right now as Rapl is desperately trying to hold on. He has finally made it basically to the late game here as his armory upgrades have come through. It's full iron for both players. Matthews obviously lacking the champion archers at this point. Rapl with tons of resources in the bank. It is time to just convert these villages into Olfsark, and that's exactly what he's doing, and go after this location. We do see a dock through here. Imagine some, I mean, I can't say Yeoman Elvers, but the Argo exists, as we are seeing these buildings getting torn down. So much population over here for Rapl, really not doing anything. If he just sent all these raiders over onto this gold mine, it could have been max value at this point. If we check out what Matthews' resources are looking like, he's got himself next to no gold in the bank. It would be absolutely huge for Rapl to be raiding that gold mine at this point in the game, but he's just not done it here. He's going after the food economy. The villagers have been garrisoned, trying to take down this town center here. The throwing axeman trying to deal with these hoplites in the back. The Polyphemus making his way forward. He's going to be able to take this town center down, it seems, as Rapl has not managed to repair this one back up to its fullest point here. This Polyphemus tanks for so long against these low DPS champion throwing axemen. They do not have themselves that Huntress axe. 7.2 damage per second at fully upgraded. Town center goes down. Madrius with a huge advantage now at 160 of 160 population against Rapl's 140 of 140 population. We'll see how he's going to do. He does bring back those raiding cavalry to circle around the back here onto those Toxotes. The Colossus taking a ton of damage here. Madrius is finally starting to float a little bit of gold, but the towers coming through for Rapl as he's trying to harass this gold mine. The villagers do come through to snipe that one down. More villagers are falling. We see a dock getting thrown down in this position, as obviously a Yeoman Elver here would be absolutely crucial. And we do see this gold Colossus coming through, trying to deny town centers from coming back up. The army of Matris has fallen down to 130 population here, as it's seemingly looking like Rapl has a chance here to get his town center back if he can continue this pressure on this gold mine. He does have a couple of longhouses here. These villages he probably doesn't even need at this point. Look at all of those upgrades. Just convert all of these. Just Villager Ragnarok. I know how bad Mattress's economy is right now, but a Villager Ragnarok here from Rapl would completely clean this up, and then he can run over here with those units and get this down. But then again, Rapple's also got the exact same problem that Mattrius has got. Neither of these players, 38 minutes into this game, have started a trade route, and this is absolutely devastating, as, well, I mean, nothing's going to be able to happen here as these villagers making their way over. All idle here for Mattrius. Mattrius has dropped down to 113 of 160 population, and we do see that finally that dock coming through for Mattrius. The army of Rapl coming back onto this town center, and he has somehow, some way managed to defend this position here. And he's going to get himself his town center back. Now, trade route. Is it started? Yes, it has. It is in true Mattrius fashion, absolute classic Mattrius fashion, the absolute worst market placement you could possibly have. Pick anywhere on the map, and you would. This is the worst one. This is the worst one. As we do see the units still pushing forward, the docks coming up. Rapl yet again. Oh, he's got a nice hill fort here, and honestly, he should be seeing this. Or he doesn't have the upgrade. You have to get this upgrade. This is game saving in so many different ways. Signal fires is so important. As we see the gold mine has expired, and oh no, in that moment, Rapl decides to tap out. He had no idea that this game here. Wait, Rapl didn't tap out. Mattrius tapped out. Mattrius tapped out. He loses. I thought he was going to win this entire time. And Rapl somehow manages to get the dub out of nowhere. Both players have no gold. Both players have no gold. This game is not over. It feels... I mean, Rapple's got 1,000 gold in the bank, but that's nothing. That's nothing. Oh no. The 39-minute game. It feels lost, but it's not. Oh. You just got to give some ground, get your trade route up, and we can continue for another 20 minutes. Oh, no. What a game. What a game. Yes, Rapl has a little bit more gold in the bank, but he's got no siege. He does not have himself bravery. Killing this town center is going to take ages. Even if he does lose this town center, Rapl has not started a trade route. Rapl has not started a trade route. So he's going to be able to keep the town center down with siege ships, get the trade route sorted, and then we can kind of repeat the same process we just did to get back into an equal position. It's so wild. Oh, you just don't know this in game. You just have no clue. I feel for Matrius. GG, well played. What an insane game. The Njord reigns supreme. GG, well played. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTubes, hit that subscribe button. And I will see you guys in the next game.